Where have I been? Well, we're going to discover that in this video. But what I can tell you is where I am. And in my new workshop is where we are. I know it's big, isn't it? Fortunately, the world is not my workshop. What's that saying? The world's your oyster. Well, the world's your workshop. There you go. This is the new concrete pad foundations for the new workshop. It's taken a long time to get to this point. I'm going to run you through everything. So let's get to it. So this is the new pad for the workshop. This pad that I'm stood on was literally laid yesterday. And yesterday it was kind of scorchio, in case you can't tell by the skin complexion. You should see me back. I'm not going to show you it, but it is bright red. Didn't realise just how hot it got yesterday, but it got bloody hot. So this is the new workshop. This is the power supply, water. Basically all the utilities go through this here. We've got water, we've got our mains power. Breaker board's going to be somewhere around here. It's a steel construction, the workshop. So these two pads here are actually going to be the garage workshop, come fabrication, blah, blah, blah. So these two pads here are the most important ones. The one that you're stood on is actually going to be a carport. So it's, well, eventually a carport in the future at some point when I get time to make one. For now, it's just going to be somewhere to park cars out of the way. So there is actually going to be a wall just here. And then in here, all sorts of fabrication, doodah, whatnot. At some point in the future, in this bay, I'm hoping to get a CNC plasma cutter. And then all my Jenny's metal forming equipment, etc. I think we're going to have like a row of tooling here down the middle. All this is, you know, as and when we start putting it all in, it'll become apparent then where we're going to put everything. So yeah, basically workshop, this end of the garden, and then this is going to be a carport. Probably end up working on cars here as well, because although everybody keeps going about, oh, you got a big space, I can fill that pretty quick. So let's look around at how we've gone about doing this. So the slabs are 4 inches on what I can only describe as about 2 feet of crusher run and roadstone, because where there was a drive, the full length of this house, all that driveway now is directly underneath us. And then on top of that, we got some roadstone and a little bit of ballast because the roadstone wasn't very sandy. So we use a bit of ballast just to fill in the roadstone. So there's going to be just here 2 roller shutter doors. I originally thought they were going to be up and over doors, but they're not, the roller shutters. So 2 roller shutter doors, so we can get into the workshop. Don't know how long cars are going to be able to get driven into this bay here, because by the time I've got all my equipment in here, I don't think we're going to get any cars. But this one will always be having cars coming in and out of it. So that's the main priority. And then, like I say, a little bit of a lean-to here, carport. And then underneath this tarp is where the workshop currently is. If I get all fancy, I might put a little screenshot on the website somewhere, I don't know, around here, of what workshop I've gone for. You got the real beast from the east sat there patiently waiting for me to get time to get around to working on her. The banana bus, which has had literally no progress since that first ever video I made on it. And then tucked around the corner there, you got the yellow bear as well. So they're all still here, just sat here waiting. And then there's the workshop. This here, along the front of the workshop, there's going to be an eco drain. If you don't know what an eco drain is, it's like a channel with a steel grate over the top of it, for any water that runs off the slab, etc. And then this here, if we look at the lawn, you'll actually, well, it's not really the lawn, it's more of the sun at the moment, but anyway, you'll actually notice it's significantly higher. That's because all that is getting lowered by 6 inches, because the driveway that used to go alongside the house was actually over the height of the DPC, which is obviously not good for the house. That's why I've ripped that driveway out. So the whole thing's coming down 6 inches. And then if you go on, I might again see if we can get some screenshots of these. There's some tiles you can buy that you put on like crusher run or hardcore, etc. And then chuck some grass seed in them, and the grass grows through the tiles, but you can still drive over the top of your grass essentially. So it's all going to look like a lawn basically by the time I'm done. Obviously, this eyesore is going to be going. There's going to be a fence that runs along the edge of this pad up to the corner, a little bit beyond it, and then up to the corner of the house. That's actually the kitchen there. Up to the corner of the house, just there. There's going to be actually a double gate here for access. Then this is all going to. Our lass is massively into gardening, so all this is going to be veg plots and whatnot. And then the actual pad in here, the workshop floor is going to be painted with epoxy resin, and it's going white, which some people might think, why the hell would you go white? And that's because after years of working in garages, fabrication shops, etc., with grey floors, I've come to the conclusion that it's the worst colour you can possibly paint your floor in your workshop, because when you drop something, it's just gone forever. Whereas white, obviously, number one, you can see stuff easily against white. But number two, it's also going to bounce the light around a lot more, which is good for panel beating and stuff like that. So that's why we're going with a white floor, and obviously the epoxy resin, because it's rock hard stuff and it's not going to go anywhere. But the thing is that that's not actually the big news of this video. The workshop isn't the big news. The big news is, as of September, I'm officially going to be self-employed. And if you're not from the UK, self-employment means you're your own boss. You've got your own company, essentially. So those of you that know me and have been watching the channel for a long time now will know that for about 5 years now, I've been in teaching, and I like teaching, but I like teaching those that wish to be taught. And when you are teaching 16-year-olds, a lot of the time they don't want to be taught. So I'm actually going part-time with teaching now, and I should be teaching level 3s predominantly, which is the kind of student I want to teach, quite high level. While I'm not teaching, I'm starting my own fabrication firm up, off-road fabrications, to be specific. So I'm going to be making custom parts for Nevas, maybe building custom Nevas, but also making some G-Wagon parts and stuff like that. I've actually got a G-Wagon coming to me in September, as long as everything goes right. Coming to me in September to have some panels fitted to it, potentially a little bit more work as well. So if you're into startup businesses and watching YouTube channels about startup businesses, this is probably the one for you, because this is a startup business. And to cap it all, I'm broke. I literally have to, after getting this concrete down and buying the workshop, that's all my savings gone. Finito, no more. I'm actually paying off because I had to borrow a bit of money. So I'm still paying off some monies. So this is literally starting from nothing, which is quite exciting, really. So I'm taking at the moment, I'm taking work wherever I can get it, really. So subcontract work. I'm more than happy to do subcontract welding work. I'm a good welder. 2-time skill weld national finals, previously coded, etc., etc. So that's the big news, is I'm actually taking what is my YouTube channel about modifying larders, G-Wagons, Mercedes, etc., and turning it into a business. So I'm going to be making custom sills, like on the Real Beast from the East. I'm going to be making roll cages, arch flares, bull bars, spare wheel carriers. If we go into the backyard area of incredible disorganization, you'll actually realize that there's various different items that are related to ladders around here, including these back axles. And one of the things I'm going to be doing is developing a rear truss kit for the back axle, because they are quite renowned for bending a bit like a banana. So we're going to make some trusses for the rear axles, custom kit form trusses. So you can either buy an axle with the truss installed already, or you can buy a flat pack kit that you can install yourself. You got to be able to weld, obviously, weld it onto the axle, ready for, you know, it to have a bit more grief in life than you'd normally expect. So I've actually got about 6 axles lying around. Some of them will get converted into front steel diffs, and then the others will just be used as truss axles for reinforced axles, stuff like that. And what I'm going to try and do is I'm trying to do it in a manner where it's either you can bring your 4-wheel drive to me, or you can buy it in a kit form. So I'm actually on with building a website at the moment, and I'm hoping, finances allowing, it's going to be an e-commerce website, which is, I mean, you can go on the website and purchase the kits on the website, and then I package them up, ship them out to you, you weld them together, fit them to your 4-wheel drive. Jobs are good. So obviously that's why I'm looking to get a CNC plasma cutter in the workshop. But then the long-term goal is I'm a huge 4x4 fan. I was brought up. I mean, while my mum was pregnant with me, she was pushing my sister around a pushchair around an off-road site. So literally before I was born, I was off-roading. So off-roading is in my blood, right from the get-go. So what I want to do is I want to build a kit car that is an off-road 4x4, both in terms of being able to be used by farmers for agriculture, but also be crossed over into motorsports, and stuff like that, Breslau Rally, etc. So some of that's going to be it's in my head at the moment. Some of it's going to be Lada inspired with a bit of G-Wagon, bit of all sorts. It's going to be a tubular frame chassis. It's all in here. I've just got to put it on this thing behind me, design and everything like that. But that's far off in the future. For now, I'm just going to be focusing on the kits, so you guys can modify your Nevas and your G-Wagons and any other 4-wheel drive. If anybody's got a 4-wheel drive that they want some building for, just contact me, feel free. And that's what I'm initially going to be working towards. So I'm broke. I've got a startup business. I edit all my own videos, record them all, and I've nearly got 1,000 subscribers. So let's see how this goes. Let's build it up, and hopefully it takes off. It's a bit of a gamble, but as is everything in business, business is a gamble. If you like what you're watching, please subscribe. It's very much appreciated. Like this video, share it with a friend who is also maybe in a startup business. And if you've got a Neva or any other 4-wheel drive that you want a bit of work doing to, feel free to contact me on Instagram, Facebook, etc. I'll leave the links in the description. And until the next one, thank you very much for watching. Cheers for now.